All right, everybody, welcome to the webinar today on the Just Sold Challenge. So this is where we're going to take a listing that is just sold, either where you're the listing agent or the selling agent, and we're going to absolutely crush it, generating seller leads, get more listings out of it, engage more people. We're going to get more buyers out of it as well. So I got a couple of special bonuses. I hate saying that kind of thing because it's so typical of webinars, right? Special bonus, but I do at the end, two of them. One, how to target homeowners. All right, we just made it ridiculously easy to target homeowners using listings to leads. And this is going to be really the first thing I want you to do, which is kind of why I'm saving it to the end of this webinar, is I want to make sure that you have got a custom audience of homeowners that you can target these just sold ads to. All right, so I'm going to cover how to do that using listings to leads. You'll never log into the Facebook Ads Manager to do this or anything else again, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. The second thing is I am going to really get you guys, everybody here, using video. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about a just sold listing is literally the perfect time to do video. If you've never done video, if you're not used to doing video, you don't want to do video. I hated video. It took my marketing person over 2 to 3 months to get me to do video. Once I figured out kind of how to do it and that nobody really was paying attention to me anyways, it's my message that they're paying attention to, I kind of got over being on camera, and now I don't really care. I just concentrate on the message I'm trying to convey. What the hell I look like, I don't give a rat's, whatever. All right, so with that said, let's get to it. First thing we're going to cover is this simple and easy plan to make over $250,000 in real estate. All right, we're going to roll through this just a little bit as it relates to the just sold and a few other things, and then we will get to crushing it on our just sold. So let's take a look at this presentation first, because this is going to simplify listings to leads for you. If you get this presentation, if you understand the basis of this, online marketing and listings to leads both will be demystified by about 90%. I almost guarantee that. All right, so first things first, we work with a ton of people, all of your clients. I don't need to tell you this. A lot of great feedback in the mastermind group. All right, make sure you're in the mastermind group. I think most of you are, but if you're not, get with support, get into the mastermind group, and start sharing success and helping out other people as well. Okay, always important to do that. I'm not going to make you watch this video. Michael Hollickson over at Cloud Wealth just saying that listings to leads is literally the best product dollar for dollar for generating leads in real estate.
Are you sick and tired of spending?
I'm not going to make you watch that again. Most of your clients here, if you want to watch that video later, let me know and I'll send it to you. But what we're going to cover basically in this presentation, how many leads do you need a month? All right, I think a lot of people don't really have an understanding. Do I need 50? Do I need 500? Do I need somewhere in the middle, right? Sometimes you're just blowing your budget and not really getting that. All right, how many leads do you need a month? All right, how many leads do you need in your database? All right, it's a little bit of a different question, right? You have a database. I don't care if it's in Follow Up Boss, if it's in Boomtown, whatever, wherever your database is, could be Outlook. How many people do you need in that? Third, how are you going to generate these leads that you need every month? And lastly, how are we going to engage with the old and new leads? All right, we're going to answer all of these questions in this webinar right now. All right, but first, a little bit about leads. And I think this is where most people fall down. All right, leads from all different sources. All right, we have internet leads. All right, these are a cold audience. We're running an ad to a cold audience. We're generating leads. All right, these typically are 12 to 24 months out. All right, you see it's a curve. So some people will close earlier, but it's a very, very small percentage. And so you're looking typically at a year to 2 out for most internet leads to close. All right, it's a phenomenal way to easily generate leads, but they're kind of a little bit of a long way out typically. A second source of leads is our seller's sphere of influence. So for listing agents, this is an awesome pool, right? An awesome source of leads. And this is why listing agents have an advantage, all right? But don't worry, even if you have no listings right now, we got the plan for you. So just hold tight, don't worry too much, but just understand the goal is to get more listings, because more listings gives you more leverage. All right. The third source of leads is your database. All right. And again, your database is an awesome place to pull leads out of. All right. Most people think, well, I generated a lead, they've been in my database for a year, so that doesn't count. Well, if you haven't talked to them in the last month, they are a cold lead for the most part, and they're a contact. They're not a lead, they're a contact. All right. We want to be engaging with these people. So we got the tools and we got the training for you to engage your database at a very high level. All right. And the last source of leads that we're going to talk about today is the farm. All right. The farm area that you are trying to get into, that you are trying to dominate, that you are trying to get listings in. We got a plan for you, whether you have listings or not, and how you're going to get into that farm. Now, with all of this, the key is have your follow-up ready to go. All right. Have your follow-up. What are you going to engage these people with? All right. If you got follow-up boss, you got Boomtown follow-up, real, whatever, right? Whatever your follow-up is, absolutely awesome. If you've got no follow-up, you need to start thinking about that. I got a couple of tips for you on that as well. So just pay attention in this webinar. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, I want you to consider this. The first source of leads we mentioned here were internet leads. The last source we mentioned was your farm. Listings to Leads has tools, tactics, and strategies for all three of these, all four of these areas. But I want you to pay attention because a lot of people like to get lazy. They like to think, well, I am so smart, I'm going to do this on the internet only. I'm not going to do anything else but Facebook ads and generate Facebook leads, which is fine if you don't mind waiting an extra year to get that bulk of business going and have about a 400% decrease in your lead conversion. All right. So what we want to do is have a plan to attack all four of these markets as quickly as possible, as strong as possible, so that we are not waiting on any one lead source to come through for us. We want all, because really, and all of it does work together. All right. All of it does work together. So keep in mind, we want to go after all four sources. A percentage of these are going to close faster, but it's going to be that 5 to 7 touches for the low-hanging fruit that makes that part happen. We want to make sure that we're going to ramp up lead generation to get off to a fast start. And consistency is key. Consistency is key for a few reasons. One is consistency to the market so people see you and don't forget about you. But it's also consistency for your own sake, because if you are consistent, you're going to be able to see really easily and really quickly what's working and what's not working, and you're going to be able to adapt and pivot on that. All right. If you're going to do 1 ad a month, you've got no reason in the world, or no ability to understand what's working or not, because you're only doing 1 ad a month, right? It's doing an ad every week, every couple of days, right? Whatever it is you're going to be doing after this webinar, you want to be doing it consistently. All right. That is absolutely key. So let's get into this. And in fact, we got a calculator. Let's go. All of you, in fact, let's just close that. And we are going to go to Listings to Leads. If you go to listingstoleads.com calculator, you're going to come up with this calculator right here. And I'm going to run through it one time. And this is going to, I think, open up your eyes a lot. All right. And this is we're going to right back into the presentation, and then we're going to get into Listings to Leads. But let's say you want to make $250,000 a year. And let's just assume right now you have no leads coming in. The average price of a home in your area, $300,000. All right. Your average commission, 2.5%. All of these are editable. You got to split 80-20 with your office. Again, that's editable. Your gross commission is going to be $7,500. So for every listing you sell, based on that criteria above, you're making $7,500 a month. All right. After the split, $6,000. And so you need 3.5 listings a month, or 42 a year. All right. So again, you want to make $250,000. Your average price point is $300,000. Your average commission is 2.5, and your split is 80-20. All right. So, and all of that is adjustable. So you need to be thinking now, well, shit, I got to make I got to get 3.5 homes sold every month. All right. So how many leads do you need to make that happen? All right. Well, if you got a 1% close rate, that's 100 leads for every sale. So that's 350 leads a month. All right. 350 leads a month. All right. You're gonna need about 4,000 leads in your database. All right, so you want to build up, and it's awesome. We had a client in the mastermind group last week was saying that using listings to leads only, he's gotten 3,500 leads in his database in the within a year easily. All right. Now don't worry, it's not gonna take you a year to start getting business. You're gonna start getting business within a month or two if you follow what we're gonna talk about today. But I want you to be thinking, all right, that internet leads take longer to convert typically, and so we got all these other lead sources that we want to make sure that we're hitting. Okay, and so if you're an experienced agent, this is what the mix looks like. If you're a new agent, you don't have a database, you don't have any sellers, so this is what your distribution looks like. All right, so again, listingstoleads.com/calculator to take a look at this. And the beautiful thing about that calculator, right, once you see how many leads you need to generate, in the presentation here, we are now going to talk about sources and the number of leads per source that you need. All right, so by that I mean social media. All right, we're going to break it out to, we want 75% of our leads coming from social media. So that's 260 leads a month. Our seller sphere of influence, we want to be able to try to get about 35 leads a month. That would be about 10%. Out of our database, we want to be getting about 35 leads a month, right? Again, another 10%. And out of our farm, we want to be getting 20 leads a month, and that's about 5%. So all of that total adds up to about 350 leads, right? Distributed across social media, our seller sphere of influence, our database, and our farm. And just to make this a little bit easier for everybody, we broke it out by the week, okay? So 65, 10, 10, and 5. So does this kind of make sense for everybody at this point? Now I understand you don't know how you're going to do this yet necessarily, but do you understand now that you need to be thinking about our social media leads, our sphere of influence leads, our database, and our farm? And you need to be thinking about it every week. It's not a I'll get to my database in February. It's every single week, all right? And we got strategies for you to do that every single week. All right, now for you agents that are new, you don't have a database, so there's no leads to come out of it. You don't have any listings. There's no leads coming out of that pool as well. So you are going to be looking at social media in the farm, and you're going to be leaning into those two areas strongly in the very beginning. All right, so look at this right here. For you agents that are brand new, we're going to be looking at 75 leads a week out of social media and about 12.55 out of the farm. All right. Now, let me just bring this up here. On social media, so buyer leads or seller leads, this is relating to social media only. We're going to be going after, our budget's going to be about 50-50, but we're going to be trying to go after seller leads about 25% of the time and buyer leads about 75%. And that's because when we get a seller lead, they are typically a lot stronger than a buyer lead, right? Any Mickey Mouse Yahoo can go in and start looking at homes and become a buyer lead because they just like looking at homes. A lot of people like to do that. And that's awesome, because as long as we're able to follow up with them when they are ready to buy and or sell, hopefully they'll do business with us. But sellers typically convert at a higher rate. So that's why we got sellers at 25 and buyers at 75% as far as our social media engagement. But you'll see there the budget is about the same. And that's because seller leads are typically a little bit more expensive than a buyer lead. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get to how are we going to generate these leads. And first of all, we're going to talk about social media. So this is a client of ours, 490 leads in 26 days. All right, 490 leads in 26 days. Again,
490.
You can get a copy of this webinar a little bit later. You can watch that video if you want to. It's just Calvin talking about that he did generate 490 leads for 46 bucks, and that the lead conversion quality is as good as any other lead source that he's got. All right. So we're going to be talking about just sold listings today. So that'll be ad type 1 of 3 here. All right. So we are going to be talking about just sold. And as I mentioned, we're going to talk about a just sold ad for your listing, which would be kind of a standard ad. But I imagine like a standard image-based ad for that just sold listing. But I'm also going to talk to you about doing video, and we're going to talk about how to target homeowners for both of those ads. All right. Keep in mind later, we've also got PDF guides that go after homeowners, correct? Excuse me, over 25, almost 30, I think, dedicated lead funnels for homeowners to turn them into home sellers. All right. 5 dangers of overpricing, 25 factors that impact your home value, and another 25 more of these PDF guides. They are available in English and Spanish, and they are one-click Facebook ad ready where you can capture name, email, and phone number with every lead. Okay. And then we've also got the landing pages that we've always had. So what is your home worth, nearby home sold, custom landing page for sellers, and all of that kind of good stuff. All right. Little blurb here about video. Again, I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later in this call. So Facebook and Instagram ad summary. For the purpose of this webinar, I'm going to mention we're going to do just sold ads at about 50 bucks a week. All right. You can pare that down a little bit. I think 35 is the minimum, but for just sold, because the cost per lead is a little bit more than a open house, for example, you typically need to spend a little bit more money on Facebook for those ads. All right. So that's the social media is our #1 source of leads because they're cheap and easy to get. All right. And we get name, email, and phone numbers with all of them. #2 is your farm. This is where the highest quality leads come from. And Chris here, he moved to San Antonio, brand new agent. I mean, the guy was brand new to San Antonio. All right. Literally, his wife is from the area. They were living somewhere else. They moved to San Antonio. He became a realtor. He got 5 listings in his first 3 months as a realtor in San Antonio. That's absolutely amazing. All right. So the nearby homeowner letter, when we get into the accounts, I want you to be thinking, okay, these Facebook ads are awesome. I'm getting name, email, and phone number. This is incredible. But it's right here, when you get into the farm with the nearby homeowner letter, that's where you're absolutely going to crush it.
Probably the thing that I've had the most success with is the nearby homeowner letter. So as soon as I listed the property, I sent out 100 letters or so. And then as soon as it went under contract, I sent them out again. And then when it sold, I sent them out again. So it worked. So from that, I've had a lot of contact with the people there. And right now, we're about to close on the 3rd condo. And that was a direct result of those letters.
All right. So you get that she was mailing them. You can door knock. We had a client the other couple of months ago in California here during the lockdowns. She went door knocking. It was kind of when we were able to start getting back out there in our area to do that kind of stuff a couple of months ago. And she went door knocking with this letter, the one you see on the left-hand side of my screen. And the first person told her to get lost. The second person told her, or I'm sorry, the second person she talked to was a double ending, right? She listed, they wanted to buy a new property in the area. They were downsizing, or actually, no, I'm sorry, they wanted out of that community. It was a 55 and over community. They wanted out of that community and they wanted to buy a new place. So she got the listing and the sell on that. All right. Whether it's Chris, all right, whether it's Pat, who you just heard from, whether it's Deborah, or whether it's other clients, mail them, door knock, it doesn't matter, use them, they absolutely work. All right. For those of you with no listings, we've got a similar tool, get with support, ask them for the letter when you don't have listings. All right. Now also keep in mind, you can use this letter for an open house that is yours or that you borrow to hold open. So always keep that in mind. All right. So for the letter. All right. Now, what Pat did is Pat mailed them, and then she used a auto dialing service like Land Voice or something like that. I can't remember, RedX maybe. And so she dialed the same homes that she mailed. Some people door knock. Either way, you're going to be talking to people, and it should be a very, very customer service orientated conversation. So, for example, if you're going to door knock, you knock on the door, take a couple of steps back. You might say something like, "Hi, my name is Scott Pierce with LDL Realty, and we're having an open house down the street." Or I'll tell you what, in this case, we're doing the Just Sold webinar. Just want to let you know that 454 Circle Drive closed down the street. I was the listing agent for that property. Or you can, maybe you're the selling agent, maybe your buyer bought it. I'm the selling agent for that property, right? Whatever it is. Let them know about the fact that it just sold. Hand them the flyer and let them know. If they want more information about the property, they can go to the URL below, or send a text to the text code if you're subscribed to our text service, and let them know. The local home values have changed, so if you're curious about your new home value, there's a link there as well for more information on that. And you're going to see, if you just leave it at that. See, this is the problem. Most people, they get nervous, they want to say other things, but if you just kind of leave it at that, right, and stop talking, let the other person think about it a quick second, because if they've got any sort of interest and you let them, you've given them some space to think and respond without you just keep going on and on and on and on, right? You're going to find out that you're going to get some really good conversations. And we hear that a lot from our clients, all right? The letter is just a tool, to a reason to be there, whether you're going to mail it and call or you're going to door knock, all right? Either way, they work. All right, now I'm bringing this back in real quickly here just to remind you, right? Internet leads, easy, awesome, but they're 12 to 24 months out typically. When you're hitting your farm, either mailing them or door knocking, your lead conversion time frame is a lot lower, or it's a lot faster. I mean, you're looking at anywhere from 1 to 3 to 6 months that you are closing business, all right? And usually a lot quicker. So take that for what it is worth. That's why you want to be doing all 4 of these things as fast as possible, all right? So here's a little summary on this right here, right? If you're going to hit a farm, try to hit a couple of times a month. So that might look like you did a just sold mailing or door knock, and then later, a couple of weeks later, maybe you do an open house. And it may not even be your open house. You could borrow a listing to hold open and still use that letter. All right, absolutely brilliant. Corey here, so this is awesome. He just took 2 listings from 1 mailing, and he got in the mastermind group like last week, and he got like $1 million worth of listings. I can't remember exactly the post, but if you go to the mastermind group, it's from last week, and he's like he got like, 1 seller, and somehow it turned out to be over $1 million worth of sales. So awesome stuff right there from Corey and our other clients. All right, so we got social media number 1, we got the farm number 2. Next up is your database. All right, so I already mentioned about 4,000 leads that you need in your database. And again, all of these numbers that we're sharing, all right, all of these numbers that we are sharing are a result of 10 plus years of working with real estate agents, working with real estate brokers, right, on lead generation and conversion. So these are not hard and fast numbers, but they are numbers that typically ring true, right, within a range. So you might be doing perfectly well with 3,000 people in your database, or you may be sucking wind at 5,000, right? Everyone's going to be a little bit different, but you try to get to around 4,000 leads in your database, all right? Because here's the thing, about half are never going to do anything, period. About half are going to do something with somebody else because they just happen to be in front of that person at the right time in the right place with the right message, all right? And if 10%, if we can get 10% out of our database to do business with us, right? 10%, break that down to the month, that's about 4 deals a month out of our database, all right? And all leads end up in our database. all right? All leads should be ending up in your database. Now, we talked about those PDF guides a little bit earlier, and I mentioned that they are in English and Spanish, that they are available to run ads with in one click. You select the guide, you type in the city name, and you click create ad. Boom, it's done for you, right? A lot of cool options that you have available to you, which I'll get to a little bit later. But for simplicity's sakes, you got 25 plus for homeowners, 25 plus for home buyers, and sending these out to your database. Check this out from John here. Very experienced agent. So he segmented out his database and he put the worst 300, the coldest 300 leads that he had, and he put them in a group. He sent a PDF guide out of listings to leads. It's branded to him. He can control the colors, right? Everything, his logo, his picture, sent that to his 300 coldest leads and got a 10% response rate, all right? So what I'm gonna recommend that you do is you just do this every week. Even if you have zero follow-up plan, all of your leads are in Gmail, right? I'm trying to think of like the worst case scenario for somebody, right? You could still do this. You could literally still send, you could download the PDF guide and you could send it out via Gmail, right? That is how awful you could be running your business, and this would still work for you, right? Let alone you're using a great CRM like Follow Up Boss or Boomtown or whatever, right? YLopo maybe, where a lot of our clients use these top-end websites, and you can still take these PDF guides, upload them into YLopo, and send it out to your database, right? Does that make sense for everybody? And I would probably alternate just one buyer PDF guide week 1, the seller guide week 2, buyer 3, seller 4, and I would just rotate them back and forth, because here's the thing. Most homeowners are going to be a home buyer at some point, right? And most home buyers, right, at some point are going to be home sellers. So it doesn't hurt to share the PDF guide. Now, what you could also do is segment out your database, buyers and only send buyer guides, sellers only send seller guides, and come up with your way of doing it that way, all right? Any feedback on that? Bill, good to see you. I didn't realize you're on the call. David, all right. Amandeep, good to see you as well. Sorry, guys, I didn't look up and see everybody on the call today. I apologize for that. All right, awesome. Paul, good to see you. Shirley, good to see you. All right, wow. A lot of people on the call today. That's absolutely awesome. All right, so the PDF guides, make sure you're using them. All right, here's a couple more examples of PDF guides. All right, and again, all these colors can be editable to your brand colors, and they're all branded to you. All right, we got the e-flyers for your database. These typically convert at 100% higher than your typical follow-up or listing alert. All right, and I'll be showing that in this call as well. And the last thing up here is a seller sphere of influence. And this is so awesome because A, it is drop dead easy. B, it is awesome. Sellers absolutely love it, and it makes you look like a rock star. And 3, it's going to get you known in the seller sphere of influence via both email and social media. All right. So we've got tools that go to the sellers, that go to the seller for them to put on social media. So we got the just sold, and the just sold is absolutely awesome. And we got the e-flyer. So again, the just sold e-flyer is absolutely awesome. We'll walk through that in this call. In the last couple of slides here, just to recap, right? We're looking to get 350 leads a month, 90 a week. This is the breakdown: 5 from our farm, 10 from our database, 10 from our seller sphere of influence, and 65 out of social media. And this is way easier than you think, right? These are not hard and fast numbers. Do your best. These are numbers to get to about $250,000 of income a year. And that way I figure, hey, you know what? If I don't make 250, if I can make 150, I'll be pretty happy. All right. Or you could take this and go, you know what? I don't want 90. 250 is for chumps. I want to get to $500,000. I'm going to bump this up a little bit, and I'm going to rock it. All right. Again, just a little recap here on the agents that are brand new. You got no listings, you got no database. You're going to be leaning into social media and to the farm. All right. It's not a problem. The only problem is that you don't want to do it or you won't do it. All right. Because there is no magic bullet, people, but you do have listings to leads. And before we get into the accounts, I think our social media accounts are absolutely killing it. I'm loving what I'm seeing our team get up on Instagram. So if you go to our Instagram page, instagram.com/listings to leads, just find listings to leads on Instagram. There's a lot every day we're doing, or every couple of days, we're doing really nice postings on our client success and all these different sort of things. youtube.com/listings to leads, a ton of great videos on our YouTube channel. If you go to our blog, listingstoleads.com/blog, there is a lot of amazing things there as well. All right. So no shortage of content for you to consume as you want. All right. So now let's get into listings to leads and let's just knock this out on the just sold for listings and listing leads. All right. So I'm going to click on listings. And let me just mention first off, if your just sold listing is not in your account. So let's say you're the listing agent or the selling agent. All right. If you're the selling agent where your buyer bought a listing recently, anytime I would say, man, it's up to you in your area. And tell me if you think I'm off, but I would say if you've closed on any listing in the last 60 days, all right. So I would say like from like mid-October-ish timeframe through now. And if it's not inside of listings to leads already, I want you to click add listing, manual, and notice the status box right here, right? There's two just sold statuses. There's a just sold listing agent and a just sold selling agent. So make sure you pick the right one. Hopefully you know the difference, right? Hopefully everybody here knows the difference. And because we're going to change up the wording just a little bit between the listing agent and selling agent, as you could imagine. All right. So get those listings in your listings to leads account because they are strong. Your marketing just sold listings is literally the cheapest way to generate seller leads that there is. Right. That just from all the experience I have seen, marketing my just sold listing is the cheapest way to generate seller leads. And the little thing I'm going to show you regarding video is going to make it even the best way, the absolute best way. So hold that thought. All right. So once the listing is in your account, all right, as sold, you see here, just sold selling agent, just sold listing agent. All you got to do is click on market listing. And that's going to drop you right into Facebook ads. Right? Look at this. The location auto-filled. I can change that if I want to. We are going to automatically complying with Facebook special housing ad category for real estate. That's automatic. We automatically do the radius of 15 miles, but that's editable. We automatically do a lifetime budget of $50, but that is completely editable. So if I want to do 70 bucks or 40 bucks, I could do that. We automatically run the ad for a week, which is what we definitely recommend. But again, this is completely editable as well. And we've got a great image in here that is completely editable also. All right. Now, I'm going to suggest doing 2 ads for every just sold listing. All right, so check it out. The first ad is just do it like this. Let the system do everything for you. Let's pretend this was 50 and just hit create ads, right? I got my pixel on there where I already added my pixel to listings to leads. If you don't know how to do that, get with support, all right? And so here's that ad. And so let me show you how this ad is going to work. There's a little view, edit, or this. I'm going to click on view. And I'd love to get any questions from anybody. So David or Bill, Amandeep, Shirley, John, other people, by all means, please let me know if you have any questions or just give me some feedback, right? Give me a thumbs up. Give me I understand it, I get it. Let me know if you're confused, right? But we just got this ad up on Facebook, right? That's how ridiculous. You know, it's funny. I see all these trainers on Facebook, right? I see all these. EXP, of course, has a ton of them, right? They're all on they're all on YouTube, and they're all doing these master classes on dominating Facebook. I'm like, oh my God, it's nuts. Like they're in the Facebook Ads Manager and they're running around the Ads Manager, and I just feel so sorry for everybody because have you ever seen a Facebook lead ad get up this fast, this easy? I am collecting names, emails, and phone numbers before most real estate trainers and coaches even get past the first screen in the ads manager. All right, like think about that. We have got an ad up on Facebook faster than most trainers and coaches get through the first screen of the Facebook ads manager. That's how easy and ridiculous this is. All right, now because we're not spending our time screwing around in the ads manager, right, like knuckleheads, check this out. I'm still in the Facebook ads, right? See how that's there? I'm gonna go back to create ad. Now we're gonna talk real quickly about two things. One, homeowner. We wanna target homeowners, all right? We wanna target homeowners and we wanna use video. So first things first, how am I going to do homeowners, all right? Surely this will be in the mastermind group. This will be on YouTube within the 2 to 3 hours. So go to your listing appointment, crush it, come back, and we'll talk to you soon, Shirley. All right, but now we got the ad up like normal, but I want to target homeowners and I want to do video. So all of you, a lot of you have access to Remind. If you don't, you've got a title officer. Get a list of homeowners in your area. You can do it via Remind. You can do it, ask your title officer. Get a CSV file of all the homeowners in your local area, all right? Excuse me. It may be homeowners in your zip code, right? 94131 or whatever your zip code is. It could be all the homeowners in your town, Folsom, right? Folsom, California, for example, right? So whatever it is, whatever your farm area is, right? Now I would do kind of like a big one, right? So I might do my whole area. And then I might even do some other smaller ones as separate lists, right? But my point is, get a list of all the homeowners in your area and check this out. I'm gonna come off of Facebook ads, so I apologize for this, but I'm gonna go to ads, and I'm gonna show you how to upload that file in listings to leads to create a custom audience of local homeowners to then show your ads to. Does that make sense for everybody? Right, Bill and David, do you get what I'm saying here? Right, for everybody. I want to upload a list of homeowners, and then I'm gonna target my ads to that list of homeowners. All right, hopefully that makes sense. So again, I'm gonna go to Remind or ask my title officer, and I'm gonna get that list of homeowners, okay? Get into the mastermind group if you need kind of help on that first part of it. So I got the CSV file, all right? I'm gonna click create audience. I'm gonna upload that CSV file, and I'm gonna call it like Folsom homeowners. And it, depending on how detailed you're gonna get, it might say 5-year ownership. Or I might say 5+ year ownership, whatever, boom. Import and create, and we listings to lead. I felt so sorry for a client recently. I was talking to him because this went live like last week. And I was talking to a client, and the day before, it took him like, and this is a smart guy, knows Facebook, took him like 3 to 4 hours because he forgot about how to do it. So he had to look up how to do a custom audience, and the guy was like, when I felt so bad. So I was like, dude, we just went live with this. All you gotta do is upload the file here, give it a title, click the green import and create. Right? I could hear the aggravation in his voice because he had spent so much time and aggravation doing it within the ads manager, right? Which is always nuts. So boom, right now we're gonna have a custom audience of homeowners that we are gonna put our ads in front of. All right. So let's go back to, so now, so here's the thing, that can take as little as 12 hours, but it can also take up to a couple of days. So get on that ASAP, all right? Get on that custom audience as soon as possible, because it can take a few days to get that live, all right? And now let's go back to listings, and we're gonna click on market listing for our just sold listing again. All right, here's that listing, 694 Douglas, market listing. Now it's gonna drop us back off on past ads because we have a live ad right here, but we can create more than one ad at a time. So check it out. I'm gonna go to create ad. And again, I'm gonna leave all this the same. I'm gonna change media. Now I'm gonna select a video that I've got. And so here's a video of me. And now let me talk this through with you. And again, I really want to challenge everybody. All right. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you think about yourself. Right. I don't care about any of that stuff. And nobody else does either. That's a problem. Nobody else does either. You do. I do about me. Right. I am the most critical person on the planet about myself, but nobody else cares about what I look like or what I'm wearing. I could be wearing a hat, a sweater, and shorts, and nobody's really going to care. All right. Here's the deal. If you can do a video, you're standing in front of the house like you see me here, right? Everybody see that? Right? I'm standing in front of the listing I just sold. You could be at your desk like I am right now, like we all are right now, like it's a bomb style video, and just talk about how you got that home sold. Hey, this is Scott Pierce at LDL Realty, and we just got 694 Douglas Boulevard sold. We got 4 offers in the first 7 days with our 86-point marketing plan, right? That covers social media, direct mail, local homeowners, right? Social media audiences across multiple platforms. We had over 10,455 views of this listing in the first week, right? You get my point, right? You are humble bragging about yourself, right? To let people know that you are an awesome agent that can get their home sold. And Bill said, yes, thank you, Bill. I totally meant to mention that. When you upload that list for a custom audience from Remine or your title officer that I was mentioning earlier, right? I said, get a list of local homeowners. It's got to be above 1,000 contacts, all right? For a custom audience, the minimum size is 1,000 contacts. You might want to go ahead and upload like 1,100, maybe even 1,200, only because there's going to be a certain percentage that Facebook won't find. But if you get 1,000, that's fine. But just keep in mind, it takes around, not exactly, but around 1,000 people to create a custom audience. So don't try to upload a list of 300 homes or 300 people, because Facebook will just look at that and go, it's not big enough. So you need 1,000. Thank you, Bill, for mentioning that. I'm sure I just saved a few people from some aggravation there, so thank you. All right, so back to the video here. Does everybody get the idea of doing a video? All right, so, and it's so easy to use video in your ads. Look at that. I'm gonna make a big push in the mastermind group. I wanna hear what kind of videos you all have, and I'm gonna help you start monetizing your videos, right? This is a phenomenal way to get your brand out there, to get your expertise out there in front of people, all right? So now with the ad using the video, we're gonna do a couple of things different. One, we're gonna retarget. This is how easy. Now I don't have a homeowner audience, but I got I'll say my seller audience. That's how easy it is to retarget, all right? That is literally how easy it is to retarget using listings to leads, all right? I uploaded my custom audience. It might take 12 to 48 hours for the audience to be available. Bam, I'm able to use that right here. No Facebook for nothing, all right? Now here's another thing I want you to do. Click advanced options, and you can do this for all ads, but we did the first ad as kind of like our default easy ad. This is our advanced, we are rockstar digital marketing people ad, right? So we got a video, We did a retarget. You're gonna love this, right? Bill, John, right? David, I know you're gonna like this. Check this out. Create new form. We're gonna add some custom qualifying questions, all right? So this ad is going for seller leads. Notice name, email, phone are all on automatically. But would you like to know what the time frame is? And maybe do they need to buy a home when their home sells? If I wanted to, although I don't want to, I could rearrange the order of this. I don't. I'm just showing that to you. And now I've got an ad that is going to not only get name, email, and phone number, it's going to get a couple of other pieces of information. Now I might get a few less leads, but I'm going to get more qualification. And I'm going to share with you something here on a script on the back end here of when we call these people up, a little bit about what to say, right? But hold on one second here. Let's continue on in advanced options. Has sold. If I wanted to here, I could do right, whatever. You get the idea. Easy, easy, easy to edit that. And now I'm going to hit create ad. Please provide address question in form. Yeah, we can make that as an option, I think. But that's also going to be on the hold tight, I'll show you. All right. So now you see everyone, right? We got an ad for the listing. And I'll tell you what, the first ad that we did with just the image, that's going to generate seller leads anywhere from 3 to 5 on the low end to 5 to 10 medium, 10 to 20 high end, right? Per lead, name, email, and phone number. This ad with the video, check this out. I hope you guys appreciate the power of this. Not only the power that Listings to Leads is giving you, right? The power, the simplicity, right? Of being able to deploy a video ad that's retargeting, right? That is, where's our ad? There we go. Have you ever seen a video ad that's retargeting, right? With custom questions easier than this, right? I'm gonna think you haven't, all right? Look at this, 694 Doug Runaway just sold multiple offers, 7 days based off our 87-point digital marketing plan, right? Your home, this text can be whatever you want, but this text default, it works great. Now we got a video, all right? People click the video. And again, like I mentioned before, name, email, phone number come up automatically. What's your time frame to sell? Are you buying a home when your home sells? Yes, yes, yes. Next. Right? And then this works just like normal. And that's going to take me to the Lead Capture Single Property website. And there's that video again. And here's the form. So Amandeep, this is the form here where it's got the address. All right. But I do like your idea of adding the address to the other custom questions. But for now, this is all that everybody needs. All right. I want you, the first 3 people that do a video ad, like I showed you, and post that in the mastermind group, I'm gonna give you a free month of Listings to Leads. All right. So anybody on this call or listening to a recording, right? The first 3 only. So you might be the 4th or 5th person, right? If it's after December 12th, 2021, you're probably too late. But the first 3 people that post in the mastermind group, right? Their ad with video, get a free month of Listings to Leads. I want to see the ad with a video in the ad. I want to see a video on the single property website. All right. And if you did a retargeting to a homeowner audience, that's even a bonus. All right. So any questions on Facebook ads? If you got auto posting set up, that will happen automatically. So there's nothing you need to do here, right? This just happens automatically. So here's our just sold post. And again, People click it off of our page. And similar to an ad. Now this video is a little blurry just because it's about like an 8-year-old video.
Sale price of $535,000. This is a 3% price
Right.
increase month.
The seller's social media, right? This was one of the lead sources that we talked about in the presentation. We want to make sure that we're getting this out to our sellers. So for every listing that you have, make sure that you put, there'll be a button here, send a seller. Make sure you put the seller's email address and salutation. All right, so email, dear Ian, dear Frank, dear, right, Sue and John, right, whatever it is, right, boom, boom, click send, and that is going to send an email to the seller for them to post on Facebook, and I'll show you what it looks like. So this is the email that they put up on Facebook. Right, dear Ian, your home is sold, people want to know. So Ian's going to take this and he's going to copy it. And it looks just like this. So when Ian puts this on Facebook, this is what it looks like. And what's so awesome about this is it is not uncommon to generate 1, 2, even 3 dozen leads from these free posts, right? It is not uncommon for the seller's sphere of influence to start commenting, right? You can start replying, right, as appropriate without being weird, and literally getting listings and buyers from these postings, all right? It is not uncommon for the seller's sphere of influence to start clicking on these things and going to see how awesome you are because you put a video inside of your listing to lead single property website talking about how you got their friend's home sold, right? You see how all this works together? It's not about just doing one thing or another thing. If you just do all the things that we're showing you, it all ties back together, right? It all feeds on each other. So that video that you did for the Facebook ad, because you're thinking, well, everyone tells me about video, so I need to do video, video, video. Well, it's not about doing video, right? It's about getting that video out to the right audience in the right place at the right time so that you're able to capitalize and get business from it, right? That's what it's about, right? Video in and of itself is one thing, but it's about getting the video to the right people at the right time with the right message and the right call to actions. That's where you start making the money at, all right? And that's where Listings to Leads is going to help you out. So we got the video in the social media post. We got the e-flyer, and when people click the e-flyer, they go right back to that same single property website with the video. So let me show you the e-flyer here. I got it in my second monitor. I will open it up and pull it over. And so here's the awesome thing about this, all right? The awesome thing about this is when these get sent to the seller, you are going to be CC'd on that email, right? So you'll get these same emails, and that is your cue to call up the seller. All right, so David, you're going to be the seller. I'm going to be the agent, and I would call up David and I would say, David, right? And again, we're going to role play the just sold. So I'll say, hey, David, hey, congratulations on getting your home sold. Absolutely awesome. I just absolutely loved working with you. And I sent you a couple of things to put on Facebook and to share with your friends on email, because everyone's going to want to know that we just got this home sold. All right. So if you can put it up on Facebook, that would be absolutely awesome. Share it with your friends via email. That would be awesome. Right. Unless you completely screwed up the transaction, the seller is going to be more than happy to get this out for you. All right. They absolutely love it. Right. It lets them show how smart they were to hire you in the first place. Right. That they got their home sold. All right. And so do not forget that, right? Do not sit there and tell yourself, well, my seller's not going to do it. My seller doesn't like me, all right? Don't do that. Just do it. When you get the email CC to you, that's your cue to know that the seller got it as well. So call the seller up, have that little conversation I just role played with you, and start getting free leads from it. You're going to get free buyer leads. You're going to get free seller leads. You're going to get business from it, all right? So make sure you're doing that. got 2 more things to do. I see it's 11:59. I'm gonna get through these in 2 minutes because we have a lot of training on all of this stuff. My goal here is to point it out to you. But for the nearby homeowners letter, please note there is a support post right here in the lower left-hand corner. If I click on that, it'll open up a support page. There's a short little video walking you through it. Suffice to say, there's 3 options. I don't know which one. I think I like the middle one the best, but I would just use all 3. Doesn't really matter. All you gotta do is download it. All you need to do is download and print and either mail it or door knock. All right, get into the mastermind group, search Chris Winstead, search Dustin Fox, search Pat Motley. All right, in the mastermind group, you'll find a number of different postings on it. But again, don't overthink it. This is where most people love to overthink it, right? They try, getting a 10% lift on nothing is still nothing. All right. So what I would suggest is get 100 of these out the door. If you don't know what you're doing, just door knock. If you don't know what you're doing, you probably don't have any money. So, which is awesome because now you're going to door knock and you're really going to start meeting people. And that's the best thing, right? Otherwise, if you got money and you want to mail them out, right? Don't worry about being perfect the first time through. Worry about getting it done the first time through. You can worry about improving it the second, third, and fourth time you do it because it's not going to break the bank to get 100 out the door. All right. And you're going to start getting some engagement and response from it. And then you can start fine tuning it, getting it better. You can get yourself into the mastermind group, find out what other people are doing, but get started on this now. Stop making excuses of why you're not doing it because this is driving a lot of business for a lot of people. I just hope you're one of those people. All right. And the last thing we're going to cover today in this webinar is the e-flyer for your database. All right. Now, the e-flyer for your database, when follow-up goes live with listings to leads, that'll solve that problem for your leads out of listings to leads. For everybody else, if you got like Boomtown, Real Geeks, Follow-Up Boss, Lion Desk, click the copy code button, and that's going to copy all that code. And I'll show you in listings to leads follow-up. And the other thing for your database, right, that we talked about a little bit earlier on the presentation side of things was the PDF guides. All right, so you can send out these guides to your database as well. But if I just go, right, and all CRMs work kind of similar, right? Create email blast. You're going to give it a subject line, just sold. Hit next. All right, and again, it doesn't matter what CRM you're using. You have an editor that looks something like this. And there's always a source button, right? Sometimes it's the first or last item on that editor. In listings to leads, it's kind of in the middle. Anyways, just paste that code that we copied earlier. Boom. Here's that e-flyer for our database. And the reason you want to send this e-flyer out of listings or from listings to leads to your database is, again, this is designed, this will get more clicks, more opens, and more leads than your standard follow-up or your standard listing alert. All right. I've had people send this out to their database in the evening and they wake up in the morning to over 24 leads, 24 engagements out of their database. Sometimes it's people just replying back. Sometimes it's people clicking one of the links, right? Imagine a homeowner clicking that link and going to that single property website where you had the video talking about how you got that home sold with your 87-point marketing plan and that you had over 6,000 views on social media. You get the idea, right? How awesome is that, right? And they scroll down and they see, well, their home's value has been affected by this home being sold, right? And they go get a free home value. We've got all of this set up for you automatically. All you got to do is get it out the door. All you need to do is click copy code, right? E-flyer for your database. All you got to do is click copy code, paste it into Boomtown and send it out. Not overthink it. Start getting business. Start making more money, right? It's really not that hard. We just like to make everything a lot harder, but yeah. Anyways, David, few people run Facebook ads like me. You just made it so much easier. David, we'd love to get more feedback from you. Love it. Thank you so much for that. For everybody else, it is 12:04. I apologize for going long. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Please note, we got agent accounts, we got accounts for offices, we got some of the biggest real estate offices in the country as clients. We've got some of the smallest. We got offices with 3 people and a broker on listings to leads. We got accounts for lenders, companies. We're now in Remax Marketplace. So if you're a Remax agent, you can go into Remax Marketplace, all SSO, all within as available for you inside of that. We can be in any other company. So if you're a real estate company, you want to talk to listings leads about being a benefit for your agents, let us know. And for anybody else, Jim, I can't wait to see it. I just uploaded my just sold video. So Jim, get into the mastermind group, leave a comment. I would be more than happy to log into your account, check it out, or you can put a link and I'll review it with you and help you get started with that, buddy. All right. For everybody else, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.